Hi, Tim Millard here, and recently George Feltenstein of Warner Brothers joined me on the podcast to go over the September Blu-ray releases coming from the Warner archive. Those are being released on September 26th. Now, that's an audio-only podcast, so I took the highlights and made a few videos here for the YouTube channel so that you can watch those. And I add some photos, and I do get artwork in there if it's available. But just know that those are not taken from this new HD master, so they're not representative in any way of the quality of these brand new remasters in HD. Here's the announcement for Saratoga.
And then the next film that we're going to talk about takes us back to the 1930s. And this is a film that's famous more for the circumstances under which it was made and released than for the content of the movie to some degree. It's a charming, enjoyable, entertaining romantic comedy co-starring Clark Gable and Jean Harlow at MGM, I believe for the sixth pairing. That's off the top of my head. I may have the number wrong, but they were teamed often. And this was unfortunately their last teaming because Miss Harlow had uremic poisoning and died of kidney failure right as they were about to wrap production. And I went through the production files on this film and read about how they were thinking of refilming the film with another actress. And then it was decided they could find a way to tell the story. They had most of Harlow's scenes shot, and those that weren't were used with a double from the back and someone doing vocal dubbing that had a similar style. But that shouldn't overwhelm the film itself, which is a delightful story set at the racetrack. Gable's great. Harlow's terrific. It is insane to think she passed away at 26 years of age and yet left such an impressive body of work. And for those who are looking for other Gable Harlow films that haven't made it to Blu-ray, I can assure you they're on their way. So this looks terrific. It's a 4K scan from our best preservation elements. And we added a short subject on here, of course, as well as the trailer. The short subject is in high definition. It's the very first in a series of shorts MGM made to promote their upcoming releases and give a little background into how film gets to be from celluloid to a finished motion picture. And it takes you very quickly through that process. And then you see people on the MGM lot. You see Jack Dawn, the makeup artist who created all the makeup for hundreds of MGM films, including most notably The Wizard of Oz. Gilbert Adrian, the costume designer. You get to see all those people, and people like Rosalind Russell walking in between MGM buildings. And most importantly, they tell you what the films are that are coming up. And some of them never got made, and some of them got made with different casts. So it's really fascinating. It's called The Romance of Celluloid. And there was a whole series of these probably for at least 10 years, maybe 7 years. I'm not quite sure when they kind of stopped doing them. But we have made most of these available before on DVDs in the past and on some Blu-ray releases. But this one, we couldn't find the film elements. We finally did because it was buried under another title's inventory. So it's an HD presentation of the short, and I think people will really like it for the behind the scenes at MGM and how movies get made perspective. I also think Saratoga is notable in that you get to see the wonderful Hattie McDaniel and Clark Gable 2 years before Gone with the Wind. They had a very close friendship in real life, and you can see the chemistry is very vital there, and she's delightful in this film, as is Lionel Barrymore and Frank Morgan and Una Merkel and Walter Pidgeon. It's an all-star MGM cast and a delightful film.
Just a reminder to subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you get all of our announcement videos and other videos in the future. Be sure and check out the rest of the Warner Archive September announcement videos on our YouTube channel. And you can always listen to the full audio podcast by selecting the link in the video descriptor. Thanks for listening.